I'm going to start out by debunking some of the horrible advice that's out there. And to save us some time, I'm going to put it all on the gong. And each time something isn't worth our time, I'm going to give it the gong and tell you why. All right, so this is the type of advice that is generally out there. I'm sure you've experienced it if you have looked for help. Recognize and acknowledge the bullying. What does that mean? Of course I'm acknowledging it. Document the incidents. Why would I do that? Don't do that. Build a support network. I don't even know what that means. Why do you want to support one another so you can keep being bullied? Confront the bully. That's a great idea. Report the bullying. To whom? The bully police or what? Seek external support. What, like in pantyhose or what? Learn your rights. Here's, in a nutshell, you have none. It's not a crime to bully at work. Stay healthy. Plan an exit strategy. That is the only bit of advice that's any good. That you should do before you begin a job. That's how you maintain your personal power. So we'll be talking about that later. We have to, before I move along into what the real solutions are, I have to get a couple of things straight. Number one, remember that there's only one relationship that we have. I mean, we have seemingly different relationships. I have a relationship with you. You have a relationship with your boss. Those are all one relationship. It's part of the trinity of relationship. It is an impossibility that you are being bullied at work and your kids don't know about it. And chances are you have not really talked to them about this, but they do know about this. It's just like any other abusive relationship. If you were in an abusive relationship with your spouse, or maybe you have been, they will pick it up by osmosis and learn, oh, I'm supposed to be bullied, or I'm supposed to bully people. That's what they're learning. There's no way to hide that. And the reason we tend not to talk to them about it is because we are ashamed. And I understand that. And when you heal that relationship and fix the problem, you're not just fixing it for you. So remember that. It's not a quick fix. You can't just use a one-liner or some cheap parlor trick that you learned on YouTube to stop a cycle of abusive relationships. You know, it's not that easy. You have to get to the root of the problem, and that's what we're going to do. Not just for you, but for your kids and for everybody else in your life who has been suffering along with you, because they have been. And it's time to stop. And it will be an impossibility for you to be bullied afterwards, all right? Okay, in case I forgot to mention it, HR is not your friend. HR will never be your friend. Remember that, okay? There is no case in which someone has gone to HR, they've documented all of their stuff, and they've come out on the other end a happier or better or richer person for it. Never happened. If you've heard of it, that's a fairy tale, all right? So I told you what the 5 things are. I'm gonna start off with number 1, start identifying and being able to distinguish correctly between cause and effect. If you can't do this correctly, you can't solve the problem. Here's what I mean. It's Christmas time. That's right. Here's what we're going to do. These are the things we are being delivered this holiday season. All right. I don't know what to say. Quick. Is that a cause of your problem, not knowing what to say, or an effect of your problem, not knowing what to say? Which is it? That is an effect. If you don't have the right words to respond to bullying, if you don't know what to say, so you let it slide, the reason you don't know what to say is because you have not invested enough into your professional communication training. It will keep happening and happening and happening and happening and happening until you get to the root of it. The root is you need to invest more in your communication skills training if you can't find the words. My boss is disrespectful to me. What is that? If I'm dealing with a disrespectful boss, maybe I need to give myself a perspective check. And maybe I need to start realizing, that's kind of selfish of me and disrespectful of me, thinking that my boss or my coworkers or whoever it is has nothing better to do than to try and behave in a way that would please me so that I can feel good. If I feel bad because I perceive you to be bullying me, and what I believe would make me happier is you treating me in a different way, and I have that way in my brain, that's insanity for me to put my happiness, my peace, my joy in your hands. And if you don't behave the way I want you to behave, I'm not going to be happy. I'm going to feel bad. I'm going to be depressed because you just aren't treating me the way I want you to treat me. Maybe what I need to do is recognize, whoa, who's bullying who? Even if I'm not telling you that that's what I want you to do, I'm giving you that obligation, my happiness? So of all the things you have to do today, I don't know what your boss does, but maybe they have kids that they need to bring to school. Maybe they need to budget. Maybe they're on the brink of bankruptcy. Maybe they are dealing with the death in the family. Maybe they are sick. Maybe they're dealing with all sorts of issues. And on top of that, I'm putting my joy and happiness on that And then I'm getting angry when you don't fulfill the obligation that I'm silently giving you to make me happy. Maybe I can realize I have made a mistake in placing that in your hands and putting that burden on you and putting those chains on you as though you are somehow responsible for my happiness. I'm going to liberate you and free you from the chains that I have been placing on you, even if it is just silently, because in doing so, ipso facto, I will be releasing myself of chains that I have placed there without even knowing it, and the burdens that I have been carrying that are not mine to carry. If you feel as though you are burdened with other people's happiness and you can't get rid of it, stop putting your happiness in the hands of other people and watch. There's just one relationship. It's magic how that happens. But I have to realize if my boss is being disrespectful, that's an effect. I've had about 100 jobs in my life. One of my first professional jobs, I was a stockbroker in Chicago, and I just come from Fargo, North Dakota. It was Chatfield and Dean and Associates. They are now, I believe, under multiple investigations. But your first day of work, part of the initiation hazing process was I had to stand up on a table while the entire firm, about 100 people, circled the table and threw insulting nicknames at me, just one after another, until one of them was so good and so cutting that that was going to be your nickname until you produced a certain level. Then you can choose your own name. I mean, that's bullying. And I remember as I was standing up there thinking to myself, thank you, Dad. This is never going to happen again. At that moment, I was losing that battle of self-respect and dignity because I chose all of the things that put me in the position to eventually stand in the middle of a crowd and have insults hurled at me until one of them stuck. I'm going to offer you a special prize. If you can guess what the nickname was that I was given, or maybe if you can write it in the comments, the first person who's right, I will give you a free Inner Circle membership for a year. So that means you get access to every course that I have. If you can guess what my insulting nickname was, there's absolutely no way that you could offend me by guessing incorrectly or correctly. Okay, so go for it. And thank you, Dad, for that. Okay, I want you to remember this. Almost everybody, they start with these visions and these thoughts of what they're going to say when they finally are in their power, how they're going to talk to this person, what they're going to tell that person, how they would respond the next time this happens. You can take this to the bank. What you will find is that you will not say the things you're thinking of saying right now. You won't do the things you're thinking of doing. You won't take vengeance on these bullies. You won't do any of that. And I'll tell you why. It's not because, your heart will be filled with forgiveness. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's just not what will happen. What will happen is it won't be in your mind. It will not be on your radar. All of a sudden, one day, you're going to wake up and say, oh, geez, I don't even think. They have vanished. These people, these master teachers that are in your life right now to help you work through whatever it is you have to work through, these people who we are calling bullies, once you get to the point where you have put your armor on and you have strengthened yourself and become something else, because that's the key. We're going to become something else, something that is not bullied. Once you do that, these people, it's not that they are so scared they run away or they hide or they feel defeated. They fall away and they're not there anymore. It's like they go, they're just not there. It won't be part of your day-to-day life anymore. Because right now, if you're dealing with bullying, if you're dealing with toxic coworkers, that is a level 1 problem. Level 1. You will never be able to move on to level 2 until you solve that problem. The level 1 problems are not the cause, remember. We might think, because I'm dealing with this problem, that's why I have headaches, that's why I'm sick, that's why I'm on leave, that's why I'm on medication, that's why I'm in counseling. No. Level 1 problems are not the cause, they are the effect. The cause is level 1 thinking. So what we have to do is change the way we think. And I'm not saying it's the secret and you just have to say some affirmations and your life will change. No. You have to start changing the way you process information and think about things, see yourself compared to other people, see your value and what you have to do. Because when you change the way you are doing things, what's going to happen is you will change and become a different person and you will be on level 2. Those who have achieved something and have recognized their power and have recognized their purpose, have recognized their mission, they will not be talking about toxic coworkers, bullying, backstabbing, gossiping. Won't happen. And that's what really frustrates me about the communication skills industry a lot, because they give people just enough to help them through the day, but not solve anything, because then they would be out of client. What I hope for you is you move to level 2. I've got stuff for level 2 as well. That's maybe why I'm so free to give it. It's not that I'm a saint. I am generous out of self-interest. I just want to make that clear. But I want you to graduate from level 1, because level 1 thinking produces level 1 problems. You get to level 2, you will have a different set of problems, but it will be different. It will not be this. That will be a thing of the past. All right? That's a good thing. But step number 1, you have to know the difference between cause and effect. And watch. When you start talking to people on level 1, the level 1ers, they're going to be the gossips, the victims, the beggars, the time suckers. All of those energy vampires at work are level 1. When you start to talk to them about cause and effect, what do you think? Is that the cause or is that the effect? Ask them. Have these conversations so that you can start breaking free from your Phajaan, which is going to be what I'm talking about next. But when you start to recognize, oh my gosh, I've had it backwards so often. I've been thinking that's cause and that's effect. So much of what I'm dealing with is effect. I'm the cause. What do I do? Get over the Phajaan. That's what you do. Step number 2, okay? The Phajaan is kind of interesting. I'm going to put a link in the description below because I can't get into this too much, but here's the deal. The Phajaan is a very disgusting process that elephants go through when they are babies to groom them to be slaves forever and to have their dignity and power taken from them forever. When an elephant is a baby, they'll put it in this box and they'll torture it, and only half of them survive this process. And the reason I found this out is because I was looking for one of those paintings that are painted by elephants, if you know what I'm talking about. On YouTube, there were these videos about these elephants who were painting paintings, and I'm like, I want one of those! And so I was trying to find one, and as I researched it, I realized, those aren't painters. Those elephants, they're more like the brush. There's this Mr. Pokemon behind him with a bullhook. You want to make yourself sick? Figure out what a bullhook is. And they're poking this elephant, and the elephant, because of the way it's being poked and tortured, knows, oh, that means to move the brush up, down, left, dip it, whatever it is. So they're not the painter, they're really the brush. Why don't they just charge away? Why don't they take that paint and smash Mr. Pokey over the head with it and go home and, charge through the walls? Why don't they break those chains that are on them? The reason they don't do that is because they are Phajaan. And all the handler has to do is look at them a certain way and be like, hey, that box is still there. And they get so freaked out, they believe that they are helpless. They believe that those chains that are around their feet, for example, that they can still bind them because that Phajaan told them that they were something totally different from what they were. They now see things that are not there, and they don't see what's there. They are totally capable of breaking those chains and ropes and walking right through the walls, which they sometimes do. And then they start to go crazy in the streets because they really didn't have any elephant parents to teach them how to be good elephants. And it's all because of the Phajaan. In the US, we call it high school. So many of us just haven't gotten over this high school, this Phajaan. We've been Phajaaned, and we are no longer able to see our power. I mean, if you knew how totally capable you were of solving and never dealing with again this problem that you're having with bullying. I mean, if you knew how totally easy it is for you to do, how there's nothing that you're missing to deal with this, you have everything. I understand how you might not believe that right now. It's because you've been Phajaaned. It's time to wake up. And just recognizing what's going on here. Hey, wait a minute. Why am I not breaking my chains? Why am I letting you steal my power? What is going on here? That's step 1. Realizing, oh my gosh, I've been Phajaaned. I've been crazy. I've been hallucinating and seeing things that are not real. Like these bully people who we all know, why they're bullies. We all know because they do not feel as though they have power. They have been disempowered. They're scared, whatever it may be. I don't care. My workplace is not a place of personal therapy. And I want you to remember that and say that with me. My workplace is not a place of personal therapy. It is not my Phajaan. Your Phajaan is not my Phajaan to get over. Your problems, unfortunately, we all have them. I'm not taking yours on because I cannot release you from your Phajaan. I can't do that. Just like you can't release me from mine. I have to escape the Phajaan and get over it all by myself. And recognizing that's what's going on is step one. And realizing what there will come a day very shortly where you will look back and think, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. It's okay. You're Phajaan. I mean, it's a big deal when you're Phajaan. So escape that, okay? And next, have a freedom fund. What a freedom fund is a 6 months backup plan in the bank. And I encourage you to put 6 months in there as much as you possibly can. And a lot of people are thinking, wait a minute, I can't do that. The reason I'm there is because I need that paycheck so much at the end of the week. Well, remember, you needing that paycheck is not the cause of your suffering. It is the effect of your choices. If you think, for example, that you are at the effect of your boss's lovelessness, let me disabuse you of that if you have not yet caught on to that, okay? Many of us believe that my boss is making me miserable. My boss, they're bullying and, all that. They're ruining my life. That's why I'm on medication and that's why I've had to, get a doctor's note and take time off of work. No, you are not at the effect of your boss's lovelessness. You are at the effect of your choices. You are the cause. You are the cause. In every relationship that you have, you are the cause. Don't forget that. If you only remember one thing, you are the cause. You are at the effect of no one. And you are especially not at the effect of your boss's lovelessness. That would be an impossibility because lovelessness is not even real. So I just wanted to get that one straight, okay? But we believe, because we need that paycheck at the end of the week. We think, well, that's the problem. No, the problem is you have put yourself in a position where you need that paycheck at the end of the week. And until you get a 6-month freedom fund in the bank, there is nothing that is more important. There's nothing. Well, I've had 100 jobs. I've worked at the high stakes tables in the casinos. I've been a dealer. I've been in the retirement plan services, stockbroker. I've sold every investment vehicle there is. I have every license you could possibly have to buy and sell and trade investments. I'm a certified financial, I don't even know what anymore. We have a relationship, as I was talking about, we have a relationship with money as well. And if you have not yet honored yourself by making sure that you have that 6 months income in the bank, you will compromise your dignity. You will trade your dignity for a paycheck at the end of the week. How much is your dignity worth right now? If you are here in this, you do not have 6 months income in the bank. I know you don't, or you wouldn't be here. It's one of the biggest keys because it gives us clarity of thought. And what happens is, by the way, when most people have their 6 months income in the bank, just like I was talking about, their visions of telling their bosses off and saying, you, I like you, that doesn't happen. What happens is everything changes because there are certain things you just can't fake. And when you have that freedom, because that's what it is, you just can't fake that. And people will see you differently because you will see yourself differently. And those things that were problems won't be there. It will be a different set of problems. I hope you see what those are. You will only see them if you have that freedom fund in the bank. Because if you're walking down to your boss's office, if you were called in, if you're called into HR and you're about to go into that room and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, I need that. I really can't afford to lose this job. Well, forget it. You have just sold your dignity. You have just sold your principles. For what? How much are your principles worth? There's nothing that is more important. And if people tell me, as they, have, because I used to help people get that fund together, I can't do that. I just can't. Really? Do you have cable television? Do you have a satellite dish? So if you do, Instead of ensuring that you and your family have real freedom and that you can teach your kids what it's like to live a dignified life, following principle rather than being enslaved to somebody else. Instead of that, you think it's more important to watch cable television? Cancel it. Sell your TV. Put that in the bank. Do you drive a car? Sell it. If you don't have 6 months income in the bank, you can't afford it. Do you have credit cards? Don't pay them. File bankruptcy. That is a much better decision. Trust me, that is a much better decision for you because the banks aren't worried about you. They're not. If you are worried about, again, your kids and showing them what it's like to walk with dignity, to live by your own principles, but not take shit from assholes at work because you've put yourself in a position where you can't figure out what else to do. What else would you possibly do? Sell your car and you get a cheaper one that you can afford. That's what you do. You get an extra job. You get a part-time job. Do you drink, Starbucks? Do you drink a Starbucks a day? If you do, don't do that. You can't afford it. Instead, make yourself coffee before you leave the house. If you do just that, that is going to be, how much is that? That's like 300. That is at minimum. Wait a minute. That's more than 300. I can't see without my glasses. If you do that, that is minimum $840 a year, just in that one thing. And by the way, I'm taking into account, we don't work 365 days a year. That's just work days. That's just one cup of coffee. One cup, $840 a year, based on the average cost of a Starbucks coffee. Now, by the way, I know that the average cable, satellite, all the entertainment says, I know that that bill is a lot more than $100 a month. But let's just say it's $100 a month and you are getting zero interest. This is not even including interest. Not compound interest. Oh my goodness. But it's not even including that. If you just got rid of that so that you stop pretending that everything is okay and you start instead showing your children what it's like to be empowered and to decide your own destiny and to decide your own path and to live with, again, dignity. If you are spending your time in making the choice to watch TV and invest in that rather than in what goes in your brain so that you can figure out how to get out of this trap that you're in, until you make that choice, you're doomed. If you just downsize. Let's say that you're driving a new Chrysler because you like it, a new Honda. Get a Hyundai Elantra. If you did that, the average person would save $3,600 a year. If you just stopped going out, I think what I did for this $2,600, I think what I did was I said $50 a weekend. Now, you're spending more than $50 a weekend on yourself when you go out. I know you are. But let's say that you just said to your kids and your friends, you know what? I can't do that anymore because I know you. If you're out going out every weekend, you don't have to say this to them, but recognize, where are they going? Who are they beholden to? Are they free? Do they appear free to you? Or do they tell you stories about how they are humiliated, about how they trade their dignity, about how they're scared, about how they don't know what to do when their emergency, which is right around the corner, comes? So they eat it. They take shit from assholes all the time. How about you tell them, I'm going to be busy for just 2 weekends a month. Instead of going out with you and making, getting nothing from it, I'm going to stay at home and maybe get to know my kids a little bit better. I'm going to file bankruptcy. Hooray! There's no shame in that. Trust me, there's no shame in that. That's the system. If you do not have your 6 months income in the bank, you are in an emergency situation. You just might not know it yet. The best thing you could do is stiff all of the banks so you don't have credit for a few years. You can't handle it. You can't afford it. Look what you've done with it. You're in debt and you're not prepared for the emergency that's about to come and you're taking shit from assholes. So file bankruptcy. It'll save you at least a few $1,000s a year. Then let's say that this Christmas, instead of giving my kids crummy Christmas presents that they won't appreciate and won't remember what it is at all next year, how about I give them the gift of showing them what somebody who walks with dignity looks like, showing them what somebody who truly takes care of themselves and decides, I'm going to live by my principles. I'm not taking it from anybody. And the only way that our kids will learn that is if they see it. You can show them that. Or you can continue to pretend like everything's okay when it's not, and you will have kids who will go through the exact same thing as you and blame you for it. And they'll be right. They'll be right, because you could choose right now to change it. You can go get a job at Starbucks. If you just worked 15 hours a week, the average Starbucks, that's $10,000 a year. Now, let's just say you did that, okay? Let's just say for 1 year, you didn't drink coffee, you got rid of the cable bill, You got, oh, your taxes. I forgot about that. If you are getting a tax return at the end of the year, that's a sign that you do not have financial literacy. And if you did have financial literacy, you would never give the government your money to hold until the end of the year without paying you interest. And then you get it at the end of the year and spend it on Christmas presents or whatever. Don't do that. If you just did those things that we're talking about, downsize your car for a year, went out a little bit less, screwed the credit card companies, got an extra job, 15 hours a week. What is that? 2 days on the weekends? In 1 year, if you saved that money, you'd have more than $20,000 in the bank. If you did that for 2 years, you'd have $40,000. Now, that's a big choice because most people, when they start to get a little bit, they find an emergency, then they spend it. Don't do that. If you had $40,000 in cash, basically under your mattress, but it should be in a bank, how would that change the way you talk at work? How would that change the way you feel at work? I mean, we do get ourselves into situations where we make mistakes and we think, oh my God, I didn't know this environment was so toxic. From the top down, you are all horrible. But what am I going to do? Am I stuck here? I mean, has that happened to you? What if you had all that money and you do the other things we're about to talk about and you could actually say to your boss, I think that I just made a mistake. And this, although I thought it was a good fit, turned out not to be. So we're going to part ways. We're going to remain friends and maybe we'll see each other in the future. But this was just not the right environment for me. So I wish you all well. And I'm going to go take my time because I'm not under pressure. And I'm going to find a place that's a better fit for me. So I wish you well. Sayonara. I mean, imagine if you could do that at any time because you had 40 grand sitting in the bank. I mean, how long would 40 grand last you? Now, if you lose your job, it's not like you have to worry. That's what it's for. And so you can spend it and feel free. You can spend it. It's okay. Because if you think, boy, I don't know if I can get a new job in 6 months. I mean, it would take more than that. It would? Then you're not developing your showcase resume. So we'll talk about the showcase resume in a minute. Next step, follow the rules. There are just 10 rules. 10 rules. Now, since we're making this change, if you follow the 10 rules of professional communication, you will never have a problem. You will be beyond reproach. You will be confident that what you say, how you handle things, your demeanor, your level of communication is going to be spot on, right on the money. You are beyond reproach. I am not worried about if I am or if I am not a savvy communicator. If you follow the rules, and there's a link in the description, it's free. I'm giving you a free copy of the rules. You need it. If you download that and follow those rules from now and forever, these people who have gotten to you, who are making you feel bad, who are excluding you, or if it's your boss, if they're tricking you, if they're gaslighting you, whatever, why are they so intimate with you? Why have you permitted them to be that intimate with you, where your feelings are involved and you feel bad and you're having a problem? That's the problem. There are rules. If you're getting to this point, you're not following them. Download your copy. I'm just going to say that. Follow the rules. You will be nearly bulletproof, but especially when you have your showcase resume. A showcase resume is a resume where you focus on your premium skill set. If you, again, are just starting, you don't have a premium skill set, go to a place like payscale.com. Find out what are the premium skills that somebody who has decided to work in the industry in which you have decided to work has. For example, if you are a computer programmer and you hate your boss, there are lots of computer programmers. There are lots of customer service agents. There are not a lot of computer programmers who can provide superior customer service skills. If you are one, you will have a premium skill set. Premium, I mean, if you can prove it, that I am a savvy communicator and I know how to deal with clients and I know how to provide customer service, premium, which means I can demand a premium wage. I can go to the premium companies that are the best companies to work for in the US. All premium skill sets are going to include communication skills, all of them. So if you would like to learn more about communication skills, stop by Dan O'Connor Training. That's what I specialize in so that you can always have a premium skill set. Go to payscale.com and find out what you're worth and find out what skills you can add to make you a more premium choice. And when you do that, that will give you a great idea of why your boss treats you the way that they do. Let's say that you find out after going to a place like Payscale, and by the way, Payscale does not give me money. You can if you ever want to, but they don't. Let's say that you find out that you are getting paid only half of what someone who does what you do normally gets paid in your area. That should tell you they don't value you at all. Why? Your showcase resume should help you figure that out. And if it doesn't, go to networking meetings. Surround yourself with people who are trying to pull you up, up one level, because there are two types of people that we work with. Type number one tries to pull us up where they are because they want to help us up, because they know ipso facto doing so helps them be bigger, helps them be better, helps them be more developed. That's type number one. Type number two tries to pull you down to where they are because they're not going anywhere and they don't like to see other people go up. Those are the two types. There's no in between and there are no other types. That is it. Surround yourself with those who are trying to pull you up. Recognize it. Those are the only two types. Pulling up, pulling down. Network with people who can try to pull you up. Invest in your skills. This is a good one. Your value journal, keep a value journal. A value journal helps you be clear as to what your value is on a day-to-day basis. What skills are you developing? What are you doing that brings added value to your position? Because when you can do that, when you can see on paper clearly, oh, I now know what I'm worth. Maybe I'm not worth a whole lot and that's why I'm being treated as though I'm worthless. Or maybe once I've decided to get a grip, because you cannot manage what you don't monitor. Now that I'm monitoring my value, the value that I bring into the workplace, because we are paid in direct proportion to the value that we are bringing to our organization. Whatever they believe your value is, that's what they're paying you. There's no two ways about that. You will be paid in direct proportion to the value that you bring into your workplace. So if they are paying you half of what your counterparts are getting everywhere else, that should be a clue to you. They're paying you exactly what they think you're worth, half as much as everyone else. If that's the case, make sure that you have a solid skill set. That showcase resume, when you do it right, and if you need help with that, again, let me know. That gives you options, what that does. I mean, it's like your freedom fund. It's not really a bank account with money in it. It's your ticket to freedom. It's your ticket to not taking shit from assholes. And what this will be for you is options. Options. So that when you go looking for a job, if you feel as though you are competing with other people and you're waiting for that call to see if someone is going to give you a job and you're basically begging for it and competing like you're they'll be kicked off the island, that's no way to live. You might not believe it, but you will, if you do what I'm telling you to do, you will believe it, that that's not what everybody does. What a lot of people do is they have their showcase resume. They know the right network to be involved in. They know what recruiters, because they're in that network, are specialized in their industry. They make sure that their showcase resume is frequently updated and in the hands of those who can do something with it. And then when it comes time for you to explore your other options, that's what you do. And you let everybody know, so that y'all know, I'm on the market again. I'm going to take the offers that should be coming in. If you have no offers, that's on you. Because with these tools, you should know exactly the type of offers that you are going to get. When they start to come in, then you can tell people, when do I have to let you know? How long do I have to think about this? I'm considering some other options, so is it okay if I get back to you maybe on Monday? Let them wait for your call. That's the way it should be. I mean, ideally, I'm not here doing you any favors at work, and you're not doing me any favors. We have a win-win relationship. Isn't that wonderful? Before I even started here, before day one, that's what I was talking about at the beginning, before I stepped foot in here, I already knew how I would go out someday, if that's what I was going to do. And I already knew what the deal was. I feel valued. I am winning. You are winning. And if that ever changes, well, that means my time here is done. And I'm about to move on to other pastures where I'll learn different lessons. And I have options, and I have freedom, and I have skills, and I have dignity, and I have my word, and I have my principles, and I have not taken any shit here. You can start this starting today. It might take a year, might even take 2. Then, after that metamorphosis time that you will be spending ensuring that this will never happen to you again, what will happen then is you will go into your next job, or you will walk into the current job you're in. Might not sound believable, but it is. You'll walk in the door and you'll be a whole different person. You'll be a whole different person who is immune to bullies, who is bully proof, because you now can clearly see and distinguish between cause and effect so that you have clarity. You have escaped your Phajaan so that you know your own power and you're not giving it away to other people, taking it back. You've developed your showcase resume, so you have options. You have your freedom fund in the bank, so you have dignity and can speak from principle. You know what the rules are. You're following them. It shows. You are beyond reproach. You know exactly what to do. You've done it. Now you are walking in your power. That's how you do it. And you will never be bullied again.